You know that feeling when you walk away from a conversation and you just keep replaying it, wondering if you said the right thing? Well, today we are diving deep into a totally different kind of intelligence. It's got nothing to do with test scores and everything to do with mastering the complex, unwritten rules of human connection. It's called social sophistication. And honestly, it might be the single most important skill you're never taught in school. So let me ask you this. Are you truly intelligent? I know, it's a bold question, right? Because we're all taught that being smart is about knowing facts, solving puzzles, having a high IQ. But what if I told you that's only like half the story? Think about it like this. On one hand, yeah, there's the brilliance of a high IQ, the kind that can solve a mind-bendingly complex equation. But on the other hand, there's the person who can walk into a super tense meeting and just calm the entire room down. That skill, that's social sophistication, and you could argue it's a way more challenging kind of smarts. Okay, so let's get into our first section here, the rarest intelligence. And the key thing to remember, it's not about what you know. It's really all about how you connect with people and why that connection is just so powerful. Just think for a second about the most effective leaders you know, or maybe the friends that everyone seems to love. It's not just their degrees or their job titles, is it? Nope. There's this other, much more powerful intellect at play that goes way beyond anything you could ever certify with a piece of paper. And that's exactly why it's often called the rarest intelligence. You literally can't put it on a resume, and you can't measure it with a standardized test. And that, right there, is precisely what makes it so incredibly valuable. So the formal term we're using here is social sophistication. The best way to think about it is like the next level up from just having basic social skills. It's not just about noticing social cues. It's about being able to skillfully navigate the complicated and, let's be honest, often tricky currents of how we all interact with each other. So, how do we actually get this? How do we develop it? Well, let's build your own personal social map. In this next section, we're going to cover two key skills that will help you navigate pretty much any social situation you find yourself in. Just think about your average week, every meeting, every conversation, every get-together. It's like a new landscape. Sometimes the road is smooth, other times it's super rocky. Now, this map isn't going to change the terrain, but it will absolutely help you move through it with a whole lot more confidence and grace. All right, the first key on our map is something called self-monitoring. Now, this is crucial. It's not about being fake, it's about being aware. It's that uncanny ability to walk into a room and instantly get a feel for the vibe. You can just sense the energy of the people there, and you intuitively adjust your own approach so you can connect with them. And here's how it actually works, broken down into 3 really simple steps. First, you just observe what's going on. Then you read the cues, not just what they're saying, but how they're saying it. Are they leaning in? Is their tone excited? And finally, you adjust your own style. It's all about meeting people where they are, which, is the foundation of any real connection. Okay, our second key is tactful assertiveness. And this is a delicate art. Look, anyone can blurt out their opinion, but it takes real skill to do it in a way that makes people listen and respect you, even when they don't agree. It's all about standing your ground without actually starting a fight. And here's a perfect example. On the left, you've got the blunt approach. That's a terrible idea. It just immediately builds a wall. But on the right, the sophisticated way starts by validating the other person. I see what you're saying, before offering a different idea. That one simple shift can turn a potential fight into a moment of collaboration. It's a total game changer. So now we have our map and we've got our 2 key skills, but why does any of this really matter in the real world? Let's talk about the payoff because it's huge. Seriously, the payoff is enormous. We're talking about building stronger, way more meaningful relationships. Your career path can get a whole lot smoother just because people actually want to work with you. And maybe the best part? You'll just experience so much less friction and misunderstanding in your everyday life. Because ultimately, that's what this all comes down to. You can try to force your way through every interaction and push for every outcome, which is just exhausting and honestly doesn't really work. Or you can learn to read the currents and navigate them with skill. You can learn to flow. So I'll just leave you with this question to carry with you this week. With this social map in mind, what's just one situation, maybe it's a meeting, a family dinner, or a tricky conversation, that you think you could navigate as a little more sophistication? The power to change these interactions for the better, it's all in our hands.